Hello everybody, welcome back. We are at the Alligator Bar, well, what was previously known as the Alligator Bar, and I've just put some lights in. As you can see, I've extended those lights we were using and put them through the rest of the room so that we've got some light here. And I found these cool lights which will probably be used upstairs as well in various ways. So now we are going to think of tables for this place because we need some cool tables. Now I immediately lean for something like that, but maybe, how expensive are those? Why am I looking at price? Let's see the difference in size between these two. We never actually ever get sizes on these tables. We don't need a huge amount. We just need maybe 2 or 3. That'll work. Let's just space them out a little bit. I like the color on the top of them. They actually fit in nicely with the color on the wallpaper. Maybe just the base needs to change. Let's see. Shall we go white? Not so white. Maybe. What do you think of that? Not bad. Let's do that. So it's not shiny. I think that'll work. And then we will have, I don't have my headlight on, do I? No, I don't. We still get that terrible light reflection. I wish we had reflections from the mirrors like that, but hey, that's just me. Just me complaining bitterly. Now, if we are going to have, should we have, well, we've got bar stools on the little counters there, but I think we need a slightly comfier chair if you're going to come in and have breakfast or read a newspaper or whatever. Maybe something like this. I'm not usually a big fan of this chair, but it's not bad. And then we can rework the tables and put them in a more, actually, you know what, I'm just going to put these around and then we can change them, hey? Let's put this table a little bit over. Like that. That will work. And I want to put something there that you can sort of pick up a newspaper if you feel like it. Have some magazines. Something just to be able to sit and chill with. Yeah, I like that. The only thing I want to change is the color of the seats. Let's go with that as a one, because now we're going to the slightly darker colors. And we can change that to there. And then we'll need another one, perhaps to that yellow. Let's see what that looks like. Yeah, that'll work. And then what's our other color? It's almost a pink. Is this enough space? If I put the chair there, yes, we've got lots of space still to work through. Yes, I know. I like my random colors. It is what it is. Let's duplicate that one. We need a green. Where's that green going to work? Did I not duplicate that? This duplication, do you see that? If I just click, it doesn't duplicate. So you actually have to go out, then you have to go back, and then you actually have a duplicate, which is a little irritating. So there's something slightly off with the mechanism, and I'm not sure what it is, but it is what it is. Alright, and then the other one is the blue one. Let's see. No, you see that? Am I doing something wrong? No, I don't think I'm doing something wrong. It's clearly something with the mechanism. I still want another blue one. That is a pain. Can I go back to cell and then go back to duplicate? You know what? I'm just going to be like, fine, be like that then. Okay, so we've got a couple of tables, couple of chairs. I think that looks good. We've got a couple of stools here. We need something fun on the window here. We haven't got a coffee logo, do we? No, we only have a pizza logo and a bike logo. That's sad. Dang it. We'll have to make a plan there. But let's find, do we do shelves? We can put a coat rack up. It's not really a restaurant type place, is it? That even isn't either. That is quite cute, and it would fit along this wall here. Then we can decide what we want to do with the colors. Now, if I'm not mistaken, here we go, we can alternate it, and then I can put a mirror in the middle. The only problem is we don't have the mirror without the frame here, which is unfortunate. And we can't turn these mirrors, so we just have to do the thing. And that is a nice big mirror, and I'm happy with that. It's just, we need to do a thing with this. Yeah, that's quite cute. Do we put it in the center of the wall? Because that light is definitely not centered. So let's center it and it will look a bit better. That's about centered. And now let's see what we should do with this. That color's not bad, so if we go with just the plain cream, that will work, and it sort of blends it in a little bit better. I don't like the mirror's edge. Should we go white with that? That's better. Then we've got a place for people to put their stuff and come in. In South Africa, you wouldn't have a place where you put your stuff. You would chain it to the table so it couldn't get stolen. But you know, this is my world. I want a place where I can put stuff and I know it's safe. Alright, so shelving. We could always go for medium storage. This is cute in the, it's quite sweet, and we're going to put a flower or something on top there. I can live with that. So can we copy that onto that? There we go. And that follows through. Now we can get some magazines or newspapers. We've got a couple of magazines. We don't have any newspapers, do we? I've been spending way too much time in the sandbox. Alright, we'll just do the magazine thing, shall we? Or you can pop a few in here. I mean, if you wanted to go and sit and chill and there's a newspaper. That will do. There we go. And I need something on the wall here. Let's stand here and go and find our pictures, shall we? I'm thinking of something with a thin white frame. I say that in that tone of voice. Maybe something cute. Where are the frogs? There, the frogs. They don't really work with the colours we've got here, but these do. If not, why not? It's cute. Let's just line them up with the bottom there, and then they'll look better. There we go. And then obviously we need to put tables and all the rest of the stuff. I'm actually, you know what? I've just done it. Let's redo it, because I was thinking if we extend this out, you know what, let's just take it all the way there. We have somewhere where we can actually place, I don't know, salts and peppers and stuff and other stuff. And we are probably going to need to put some supports in. My little blocky. Where's my little blocky? There you are. Maybe a few of them, and then I'll come back and probably paint them. That will work. Okay, let's just duplicate you, stick it on the other end here. And should we put one more? There we go. I don't have any more of the ceiling paint. I'm going to have to get some. Oh, that's blue. No, I don't want blue. I've just wasted the blue, haven't I? Dang it. Alright. Let's get some. Let's just go for a plain white paint for now. There we go. Yeah, it's just subtle, it's not in your face. It will work. And then the people on the other side can hand through plates and all the rest of that good stuff. And then we've got kitchen accessories. We can have things like salt and pepper and stuff and other stuff. And where's my hot sauce? Have a little collection here of the various sauces, and I think that's pretty much it from this side. I don't think magic potions are going to do the trick. But we can always put something here in the window, waiting for service. I need a plate, don't I? Dang it. And I think we're going to go for white, because that will just be good. I would like a side of fries though. Can I have a side of fries? Probably eventually, but not right now. And then we can have a couple of trays here. Dang, I had to think about that. Ooh, we can get a menu board in here. How big is this menu board? That's going to block the way. That'll work. We can pop one outside as well. We'll get to that. While I was looking for a tray, I think these are quite large, aren't they? That'll work. And then we can put the lots of odds and ends around here. We can play with some flowers, some little knickknacks, and all the rest of it. So that's the start of the restaurant. I think it looks pretty good, and I need to make something. I might have a tea menu, but I don't think I've still got it on my images. So let's go in here, and I hate this floor, and I really don't think we need this to be shut off from the window. So I am going to take it away. There goes the light fitting again. Come on, I don't want to take the floor out. Is that all of it? Yes. Because it's not a bad thing to see you. Hold on. That takes you into the under the stairs. That's fine. I can live with that. Awesomeness. And we can probably have these sort of along there, but these have got to go. And I think this wall has to go as well. Oh look, I see a gap there. That's why they put that there. It's fine. We can do another plan. I don't want a huge chunky wall there. I just want a piece that will close it in. So let's see if we can do it like this. Let's go with the grid snapping. There we go. And this, let's see if these fit. They do. They slide in there quite nicely. The question would be, can we change them, or are they broken? No, we can fix them. Awesome. Now we've got I was hoping for porcelain, but we don't have porcelain as an option here. That's silly. I don't really... Ew. You know, this is coming in again with tiled surfaces for kitchens, and I don't personally like it. But I suppose it's okay. What color am I doing this? How is that light? I have no idea, but we'll just copy that onto that one. That'll do. It's not bad. And I saved some money, so yay. Alright, the next thing is going to be removing this wall. Shall we sell this? Yes, let's sell that. $1. Where's my hammer? I want to know how. Okay, so that will work. Let's see. That's why they did it, because it brings it up in line with this wall. But it's okay, we can get away with that. All gone? Nope, one left. Awesome. Now, as far as I'm concerned, if you're in and you're glancing through here, I think you'd prefer to see them cooking your food than washing your dishes. So I think I'm going to use the equipment that we've got here. We just need to shuffle it around a bit. And yes, I'm going to keep these, because if not, why not? We are going to have to do something with the walls. My thought would be, if we're going to go with the tiles on the counter, should we just go with the tiles on the wall as well to match? Do we want the bigger ones? Actually no, let's go with the smaller ones. Let's see what this looks like on the back wall here. I had a comment, I think it was Stephen, who was impressed with the latest mechanism we've been given to actually lay tiles, which yes, it's so much easier. The only problem is if you lose your line, you go all over the place, which is a pain. And come on, outer surface finish, of course I am. And that didn't go all the way down, did it? Then you've got to come back and fill it in. I suppose we can do that. Yeah, that'll work. Do we need it on this wall? Probably. Okay, let's start shuffling stuff, because we've got a stove and we've got some cabinets. So let's play with these two stoves. Okay, and I need a corner cabinet of this. But before I get all excited about it, what the heck is it? Brooks. Okay. So we need a corner unit while we're here, so we can line our stoves up. There we go. The sinks and everything can be on the other side. We don't want the sinks here. We want the cooking surfaces. Okay, now we will need a fridge which can go onto the wall over here with all the rest of our goods and chattels, so that will work there. Looking out, we've got the concrete edging here, which I quite like, and then the white tiles, so let's see what we can do. Let's change you. The countertop, it's got the curve to it, so that's fine. We are going to put another cupboard, so let's use that. I wouldn't mind removing the handles completely, because then as you're moving fast, you're not actually worrying about snags. The top is definitely going to have to be something else. That's what I was wanting for the tables over there, but we don't have it, so let's do that, and we can go with our maybe that. Oh, this is a fridge. There we go. Why we'd need that fridge, I'm not going to argue with it though, because let's just do the thing with all of them. Yeah, that'll work. And I'm quite happy that the walls are blue. We've got that green out there. Do we go with a slightly that one? Actually quite like that one. Okay, I'm happy with that. Now let's see what we can do with the stove. I would like not brown. And then the cooktops can actually change color as well, so we can always go down. I wish the front of the ovens could change. That would be awesome. But I think that is pretty good. I would move the clock, but I'm not going to move the clock right this very minute, because we have to decide on the floor. I don't want to go with wood. I think you do need a tile. Maybe just a plain white. How about that? Let's see what that looks like. I just wish we could grout the areas that are missing. Okay, that is the other one. Don't get confused now. You can only go in a line, which can get irritating, but it does show you. If I start this line here, you'll see it actually gives you a line that you can follow. Well, if you're not out. We are nearly out. Hopefully we will have enough. And that's in the way. So let's just get rid of that light fitting, $1. And we can go from there. Right, let's wiggle around here. Come on. I want you, I do, but not right now. We'll figure it out. And then you are going to go against this wall. And we are going to need a couple of new things, and we are going to need a fridge. But while we've got that open, let's... that's the only downside. It's fine. Dang it. Alright, can we go in? You see, you lose your line if there's something in the way, which is irritating. So I'm going to have to move them, but I want my line. I wish they'd actually made this mechanism like the paint roller, where it'll just roll over or behind stuff. But I think with this is quite cute. Now we've just got to decide on paint. Let's go find our blue paint. That's it there. This is the lighter shade which we have here, and I think that will work. Let's see, shall we? Now I just have to remember not to paint over. I think that colour will work. Ooh. I'm almost guaranteed to paint over whatever I've laid. That's actually pretty. And with the green counters, it actually looks quite nice as well. I'm going to take that stripe off. As you can see, the paint is actually a little bit more saturated than what... I'm going to start here. Than what they've got on the walls, which is unusual for me. I usually desaturate everything. But I'm not going to argue about it. As we go, dang it, As we go up, we will be using slightly darker, more saturated, deeper colors, and we will get to the point where we are using very dark colors for the pub, because you know, if you want, we'll be using lots of wood and lights and stuff and other stuff. Close the door. Well, it's a nice cheerful little place. I'm happy with that. I'll go around the windows and everything, and I'll do the ceiling at some stage, but we do need to move that to here. Not quite in the right place. I need a Skinny Brooks cupboard. Where is a skinny one? There we go. Boxes of stuff all over the place. That centers it better. Awesome. Much better. So it's literally centered now over both of the... Copy that style. Awesome. And then we actually need... Why am I opening that? We actually need some more cupboards. That's a fridge, we don't need that. Let's get one of the... Oh, no. You know what, I'm just going to freaking buy it, because that's just irritating. Let's get some drawers. The door is going to open there, so that's fine. Do we want a fridge there? We don't need anything too fancy. We've got the other fridge as well. So how about that? Let's just keep it white. Let's go with plastic. And because of that little kink in the wall there, the fridge actually can stand and not sort of... Seriously? Thank you. Wow. There. And it doesn't come out further than the counters. And we've got another fridge down here, so that'll be perfect. Alright. Is the paint finished? Yes, it is. Do we still need these these? Yeah, I suppose we can do with these two. That'll work. Because it's always nice to have lots of shelves in a kitchen. But we also need to still do the walls. So let's see, is this the floor? Yes, it is. The floor is done. Let's move this out because we've got to get behind there. And let's do it. There we go. Now we can do the bits. If we have enough, we can do more bits. If we don't have enough, we can put windowsills on or just paint them. Okay, that one's got, that one's got, that one's got, that one's got. Awesome. Okay. Let's put one of those there. Put one of those there so that you can put trays on it. And then will we... Something wrong with my duplicate. Standing cabinets. I want one of those. Will this fit? If that door opens like that, will it close? Yes, it will. Will you then fit? Yes. Awesome. And then we just need probably a double. And then a little baby one. I'm not even going to try and duplicate it. Yes. We have sinks. We have still need some attention, but we have a nice little kitchen in here, and that looks cheerful and it looks fun. And I need to paint around the windows, which I will do. Why did I do that? I want to change these because these are terrible. There's nothing like a ceramic sink. And the faucets, I'm going to go light, but as you can see, they don't go light. That does look better. Awesome. We have some packing space. Maybe we need another shelf there. I got that one. I wouldn't mind an angled one. Does that make sense? But we'll just go with another one of those. And then we've got enough space to stand here if we need. I also hate that. Can you see the top of this counter? It doesn't line up unless you flip it, and then it lines up. Do these line up? Yes, they do, sort of. It'll be fine. All right. Nice cheerful kitchen. The sun is going down. Let's put the lights on, shall we? There we go. We've sold all the other light fittings, so let's these light fittings on. Dang, that's bright. But I suppose that's good. My head hurts, but it's fine. Do we want cabinets on the wall just on this side? Oh yes, it won't sit on that wall, will it? And I can't move it. Oh well, it is what it is. Let's bring it down a bit then. That opens, we can get a small one in. No, we can't. That'll be fine. I think I'm just going for a plain white. On the top there. The problem is this doesn't line up, does it? Let's sell that. Put that there, and we need a not so wide one. Is that the one I'm looking for? Yes, because that then lines up with the end there. Awesome. And yes, I know, copy paste. No, it is what it is. Okay. Nice, cheerful, bright, efficient. We've got places here to put trays, and I will get to the trays and everything shortly. I've used all the tiles that I need, so we can sell these. And if we need more, we can always come back and get more. I need to paint the ceiling, and I need to... Do we need all these lights? I don't think we need this light. There we go. It's not as intensely scary. That one's there. We can bring this one slightly over this way, so we'll get more light from it. And then we've got the fan. Okay, turn it off. This fan is way up against the wall, so that's better there. We'll come and put goods and chattels and stuff. Did I not paint that? I did not paint that. Do I have any paint left? There we go. Better. Alright, that paint is finished, but we'll copy it off another wall somewhere. So that's the base of our kitchen. Over here we've got our... You can see it's pitch dark outside, so I'm not going to do too much, but that is our start. The only thing I think I'm going to do while it's so dark outside is maybe find some plants. It's never too dark for plants. I'm thinking something very simple. Maybe we should get the big pot. One there. That is too big, isn't it? Alright, fine. And I'd like one over here, please. Awesome. And then some plants. I'm thinking of just your straight palm trees in here. Are we on Snap? Yes, we are. Just something bright and cheerful. And bringing the green in from outside. We can always add more. And we'll add some vases with other plants and things like that. But that is cheerful and it works. And then last but not least for today, we're going to do the salt and pepper thing. Now, we've got the new salt and peppers, but I really think for the restaurants and things, look at that, how it shakes. Let's just do the straight placement, shall we? These ones are very useful. Pop one up there and throw a couple along here. And the green is actually perfect. Because then we can use these, and we just need that. Seriously, come on. Thank you. If I wanted to, I could probably end up... Seriously, come on. Can I take a deep breath and move over here? You see, that works. So why don't you work there? Thank you. Never had that happen before. Then we can do hot sauce, we can do little menu cards. I think we have brain. Where are they? They're here. We have this. The only problem with this is there's writing inside. So we would have to use something like that perhaps as our menu. I'm going to have to go draw up a menu. But yes, this is the start of our fancy little downstairs area. Pop in, have a cup of coffee, grab some bacon and eggs or whatever. Outside can be the tea garden and the kids' play area. And then upstairs we get to the slightly more adult stuff, which will be probably I'm thinking maybe we can put the bar. Let's see if we have any lights anywhere. No, we don't. I took all the lights out here. Sorry. We can make this room the bar. And then we can have tables and lights and the game machines. Where are they? It's not sports. There. We've got air hockey, we've got a pool table, we've got arcade machines. So we've got lots of things that we can fit into this space. So I'm going to pull this wallpaper up to this level, but I'm going to change the background so it gets darker. And then when we get upstairs, obviously not. And I think I'm going to start with wood paneling on half of the wall. So this wallpaper only really, maybe even just this section. And then we pick up some of the darker colors and introduce those. So guys, I'm going to leave it here. I'm going to paint some ceilings and around some windows so that that's all done for next time. And then when we come back, we can move upstairs and start doing the slightly more interesting section of the coffee shop slash bar slash venue. How's that? So guys, thank you so much for watching. If you've got this far, please subscribe. I hope you have a lovely day, and I'll see you all soon. Bye for now.